Hello, boys and girls. It always works. It always works. I want to welcome you to another Trainers Talks. My name is Donavan. I have two special guests with me today, and I'm going to give you a little intro. I have Jenna, and how do you pronounce your last name, Jenna?
Schlatter.
Schlatter. I always...
It's a tough one.
Yeah, I want to make sure. So, Jenna is a tennis player, sophomore, going to her sophomore year at UC Irvine, and so she's been playing tennis, and also she played soccer when she was younger. And what are you studying at UC Irvine?
Currently studying business administration.
Cool, cool. And I also have Max Goeggel. I've known Max since he was 4. I have to do that. I have to embarrass him a little bit. But he is taking a gap year, but next year will be going into his freshman year playing soccer at Harvard. So, and before that, he played in Germany, in Stuttgart, for the VfB, correct?
Stuttgart team, yes.
The Stuttgart team, awesome. So, thank you for joining me.
Thank
No,
you for
thank
having
you.
us.
Yeah. So, one of the things I was thinking and like prepping for our conversation, when like a family friend or acquaintance kind of meets you guys for the first time, and you can kind of go one at a time, what do they perceive of you?
Do you want to go?
You got it.
I got it? Okay. You know, obviously coming with, like, from an athletic background, they're going to think, oh, you're a good athlete.
Yeah,
Like,
yes.
You know, you play tennis or you play soccer all your life. That's obviously, like, their first perception of you. But, you know, that's not all it is.
Yes. Yeah, totally. What about you, Max?
No, yeah, I completely agree with that. I think when people kind of hear our names, they just immediately associate our sport. It's like the tennis girl, the soccer guy.
Yeah.
And she made a good point. There's more to us than just our sports.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's not a bad thing. Obviously, people just know us because we've been, fortunate enough to excel in our sports. So I guess it's common for people just to associate our sports with our identities.
Exactly. I mean, and that's kind of the reason why I want to have that as the first question, because I do think that is the presumption, and hopefully within this conversation they'll understand that it's more to it than meets the eye. So what was your first memory of like playing organized sports?
Go ahead.
Well, I remember playing soccer in like the Napa Valley League with Jenna probably too, with like boys and
we were
girls.
tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess, is that considered organized? It's like more like...
Yeah, that's organized.
I guess
mean,
that's
like,
organized.
Yeah. And how old were you guys again?
Probably like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
5 through like 10, 12. I mean, I played soccer until I was about 12.
Yeah.
Soccer and tennis at the end, and then took off with tennis a little bit. But growing up, I mean, you and I played a bunch of sports together: basketball, soccer.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Did you ever play tennis?
I played like, we
Like-
did like summer camps and
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
So we grew up in playing sports all our lives, and then kind of decided to choose one in the end. But
No,
Yeah.
I have a vivid memory of playing basketball against
Yeah.
Jenna and like the Boys and
No,
Girls Club
same.
in San Lena, and she was scratching all the guys with her
I
net.
remember I was taller than everyone.
Yeah, she was.
Everybody was down here, and I had that extra,
Yeah.
foot at that time. Obviously, they passed me now, but I got that advantage when I needed it.
Yeah. Do you think playing different sports has helped you within, because your main sport is now soccer, your main sport now is tennis. Do you think playing other sports helped you become a better soccer player or tennis player?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can carry over things from kind of like any sport. I mean, with soccer, like just movement, and then same with basketball, really like hand-eye coordination really transfers over to tennis, at least for me.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed playing multiple sports. For me, my favorite were basketball and soccer, and it's kind of tough to just do soccer only for a while.
Yeah.
And like, I'd say my advice to like people, like parents, is like just to keep them doing multiple sports for as long as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
And
Because
they could
it's-
choose
yeah.
in the end,
Yeah, totally. What do you like most about playing a sport?
Playing a sport or playing tennis?
Ooh, okay. I didn't think of it that way, but yes, playing tennis. What do you enjoy about playing tennis the most?
I guess for me, like the individuality it has. I mean, you could still play doubles, of course, but then singles. I mean, I look at tennis as almost like a puzzle. You know, you're trying to solve the pieces together, trying to figure out your opponent, and I just like that you can figure that out like by yourself, and you can only blame yourself as well. You know. Like,
Yeah.
Whereas a team sport, a little different. You know, you have to rely on your teammates and
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, I won't bash you on that, but at least for me, that's what kind of stood out.
Yeah, no, I will say something that we played tennis yesterday. I was on Jenna's team, and that was the reason that we lost.
No, you weren't. You just need to work on those volleys.
Yeah, we're just gonna work on the
Well,
volleys.
what did she say after we played? What about the teams next time? She mentioned
Oh,
something.
we might
Yeah.
switch it up.
She-
Or, I mean, let's get revenge.
All
I'm
right.
down
She
for
was-
whatever.
She was suggesting that we join up and Donavan play with Michael.
Yeah,
Switch things up a little bit.
she already traded me.
No, I didn't.
Max, what about you? What do you enjoy about playing? So it's kind of a cool dynamic because
I'll take the opposite approach. I like the other side of it, like being with a team.
Yeah.
Like I think like playing with other people and like going through those highs and lows.
Yeah.
Is like something that really bonds you,
Mhm.
and just like being able to celebrate with your team members if you score a goal or you win an important game. I think that's a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. I mean, I think I can. The funny thing is, after getting to know you guys, and Jenna really have only got to really know you over the last year, kind of in
Yeah.
a way, and Max have known for a long time, is that I can see you guys' personality matches pretty well with the sports that you
Yeah.
play, you know. So, what within the athletics, you know, we've been doing training all summer. And what do you like most about the training we've done, but in training in general when it comes to stuff that's off the field or off the court?
I think recently I've just really been into working out and
Yeah.
kind of, you know, building my body and to be able to like strengthen certain parts of it that can then, you know, take place on the tennis court, and I could see my improvements through that as well. So I enjoy my time working out off court
Yeah.
and then on court as well, and it's different, but it really transfers again to
Yeah.
on court stuff as well.
Yeah, I'd say training with you over the summer has been really fun because like we do so many different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you always mix it up. We play games. Like when we go out to the park, like we never do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like always a different game. And like that idea of like cross training and like bringing fun into the exercises. I think that's sometimes what we miss. Maybe just
Yeah.
playing one sport, just because it gets a little bit monotonous playing
Yeah.
one sport all the time. So like over the summer, kind of playing less of our own sports and doing more of like fun games and staying fit. I think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
been kind of like the highlight.
Yeah, you know, the interesting thing is that, you know, with this crazy year of 2020 and kind of reading the tea leaves, that the chances of you guys playing your actual sport
Yeah.
kind of is reduced, and Max has been confirmed for the Harvard season. It's kind of keeping things moving, but not overtraining when you don't need to overtrain.
Right.
So it's kind of finding what you guys were talking about, having that balance, and also playing different sports.
Yeah.
The benefits you guys talked about of playing different sports, and kind of doing that now, so that when it's 3 months out, when we really need to get into it,
Right.
we're ready to go, and then we can really dive into the specificity of it. So, I kind of want to switch gears a little bit. Both of you, if I go through your Instagram stories, or your
Are you stalking
social
us?
huh?
Are you stalking us?
I did research. But not just necessarily your Instagram stories, but you're just going through knowing you guys' past.
Yeah.
You guys have traveled a lot in your life, and some of it having immigrant parents, right? And so what has travel brought to your life overall? What do you think it brings to you when you compare yourself to peers that are in the States?
I think it brings a lot, honestly. Just,
Yeah.
I mean, traveling in general or traveling for a sport, I mean, you get to experience different cultures, which I think is super important, and just kind of open up your mind to like different places in the world. I mean, you're never gonna find like the same place twice, obviously. Like,
Yeah.
it's never gonna be the same, really. So, I think in terms of that, having parents that come from Switzerland and just being fortunate enough to travel with my sport or with my family, I've just been able to, really embrace different cultures and kind of bring that back here as well,
Yeah, totally. What about you, Max?
No, yeah, it definitely adds like perspective.
Yeah.
It's like going to different countries, meeting new people, like just having the ability to speak a different language, I think,
Yeah.
kind of gives you a different outlook than just typical Americans,
Yeah.
for example.
And what languages do you speak or can speak?
So I speak English, German, and Korean.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you speak French as well as English.
Yeah, French, English, Spanish. I mean, I understand everything in Spanish, but
Yeah.
over the years I've kind of lost, the speaking
Yeah.
ability. But I'd still say, I still count it.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. It's better than I am.
But no, it's funny that you mentioned like traveling for sports and then traveling for like with our parents, because
Yeah.
we do that, and they're very different, at
They
least
are
from my
very different,
perspective.
yeah.
Like traveling for me, like with a soccer team to like Argentina or Croatia, is like very different than traveling with my parents and doing the things that they do.
Yeah.
I think like having those two perspectives is also pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because like also I guess learning about cultures you can do through sports.
Yeah.
And like going to like soccer matches for me and playing with and against players from different countries, I think is like a great way to know a culture, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, I wonder within when you're around your peers, your other tennis teammates, UC Irvine, maybe even some of the players you play with, Max in Germany, or when you were here in Napa Valley, Santa Rosa area, when you're talking to them, what do you notice that those advantages are? What's the differences? What do you see when you're having conversations with people who might not have traveled as much?
Well, for my peers in Germany who I played with, they're very much very determined to play professionally.
Yeah.
And that, I want to call it tunnel vision, but it is just because for them that's they're so passionate about playing soccer and they feel like that's the only thing they can do in their lives.
Yeah.
And so sometimes only having that one lane,
Yeah.
whereas with Jenna and me, I think we've been able to be exposed to different, journeys and career options, not just
You
exclusive
have
to
something
sports.
to fall back on.
Yeah.
Totally.
And for sometimes that pressure can get to kids on my team just because they know that's almost the only way.
They're gonna get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's interesting. Well, let's switch it out of athletics and the international side of things. Because you guys are more than athletes and you're both going to college where academics is just going to be just as important as your athletics, what are your hopes and kind of goals that you're looking to kind of do over the next couple of years?
I would say for me, just really find something that I'm passionate about and about learning and kind of just taking that to the next level. And tennis-wise, I mean, I've been playing tennis my entire life, and I love tennis, and it'll always be a part of me. But again, that's not everything.
Yeah.
And school is just as important, obviously, as well. So I think just really taking the time to learn things I want to learn and kind of pursue a different path,
Yeah. What about
Yeah,
you?
same here. I think college allows us to kind of explore different opportunities and kind of dive deeper into some of the interests academically that we have. So yeah, I'm kind of just looking forward to taking different classes, meeting really cool people, having interesting conversations, and learning.
Yeah.
Just because I don't think I've been in a space where I've had the opportunity to just pursue all these different academic
Yeah.
opportunities.
Yeah.
Just because we've been consumed with soccer and and our other academic opportunities. So it's
Well,
like,
in college too, like you get to actually choose what you want to study. So
yeah.
you know, you're not restricted to taking chem, bio, all those classes in high school. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any thing within, so your family owns Maryville Vineyards in St. Helena. Go check it out.
Shout out.
Little plug. And then Max, your father is the managing partner. George, who I've known for years, is the managing partner at Berge de Soleil.
Go check it out as well.
Go check that out as well.
Shout out.
It's best view in the valley for a restaurant, and probably one of the best places to stay too. So, is there anything within the family business that you guys are interested in, or do you kind of want to set your own paths when it comes to that? Because I know that is a question.
That is a tough one.
I know it comes up, and that's.
Sorry, mom and dad, but I would say, I mean, obviously, with them having a business and me pursuing a business degree, there's definitely something I could do in the wine industry. I mean, with the winery that we have, but I definitely need to start getting more interested in wine and learning about that a little bit more. It's a little embarrassing, so, but I think it's something like I could fall back on.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's gonna be there, but I don't know if it's the thing I want to do as of now, at least. You know, there's so many other options, and I'm sure I probably want to see where that goes as well. And then if I need to or if I want to, I can always come back.
Yeah. What about you, Max?
Well, my dad always tells me not to get into hospitality.
Yeah.
So there's no pressure from him, but I'm definitely interested by like cuisine and I guess that side of it, like the culture involved and like managing a hotel. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know if that's what I'm gonna do, like pursue right now.
Yeah.
But I think it's something I could definitely see myself doing maybe in the future. Yeah.
So one thing, Max, we've kind of talked lately about, you know, different interests, and I think we've kind of been on similar wavelengths of talking about future business ideas and things like that. And you've talked about ideas of bringing culture and fashion and design into the forefront in your own way. Can you discuss that a little bit more?
Yeah. So in school recently, I've been kind of getting interested in like sustainable development. So that basically entails just like in development that is responsible towards like the environment and other people.
Yeah.
Like environmentally friendly.
Yeah.
In that sense. And I wanted to like figure out a way where I can kind of showcase different like examples where sustainable development meets like, you know, design and cuisine or fashion and everything. So I'm starting like a gallery where we highlight different initiatives and like organizations and people that are contributing to the sustainable development goals through like fashion, cuisine, design, as well as like creating art relating to those different like issues with different artists.
Yeah. You and Jenna, I do think I'm kind of glad that you answered in the way where you were suspect of doing the family business, because in knowing you and seeing your you know, the tenacity you have, and you're also have been independent. Didn't at one point you moved to kind of go?
Yeah. So when I was 13, just turned 13, I moved to Florida by myself at a tennis academy, Everett Tennis Academy in Boca Raton, and I was there for 2 years. And yeah, I was by myself. You know, my parents shipped me off. It was fine though. I learned a lot, and I mean, a lot of people like were coming from different countries, and a lot of diversity really. And I met a lot of great people, and it was a great experience. But I was definitely very young.
Yeah, I mean, I think something that is very cool, like, and I kind of admired about what you have done is that you have made yourself an individual earlier than most people do, and that takes not too many people have the guts to do that. There's still people who are 30 and 35 who haven't found that yet.
No.
All right, so we're about to go into the lightning round questions. So what I want to do is I'm going to ask you a question. You don't have to, whatever is the first thing that comes to your mind, I want you to give it to me. It doesn't have to be a quick answer. You can embellish and talk a little bit more about it, but I don't want you to hesitate. I want what's the first thing that comes to your mind, and you're going to give me.
I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared.
All right, here we go. And you guys can figure out who goes first on who says it. Favorite music artist?
Juice WRLD.
Drake.
Favorite meal?
It's tough. Pasta or pizza?
Rice and kimchi.
Rice and kimchi. Europe or Asia?
Europe.
Can't do that to
So
me.
tough for you.
Can't do that to me. That's so mean. No comment.
Yeah, your mom's gonna watch this.
That's why I didn't say.
All right.
Okay, wait. I'll give you an answer.
Okay.
In terms of the mindset,
Yeah.
Europe. But in terms of like food, Asia.
Okay.
I disagree.
Okay.
I've never been to Asia, actually.
Okay.
But I love Europe. I could never see myself. Like,
All right. Let's go. Beach or mountains?
mountains.
Beach.
Favorite athlete and why?
That's tough, but I'll go ahead and say Roger Federer, because he's just like perfect, like flawless. I just can't even like
Yeah.
just.
LeBron
amazing.
James.
LeBron James. Okay. And give me a little bit more why than just flawless.
Let's see. I mean, he's just like I can't even describe it, but you know, when you watch him play tennis, like you admire him. Like you can't dislike him. He's so nice. He just has that appeal, like attraction.
Isn't he just like the epitome of elegance?
Literally, like he's just
Yeah.
super elegant.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
it's like every tennis player, like I'm not gonna say they aspire to be him because everybody is gonna have different technique, whatever. But yeah, I mean, he's who I looked up to, obviously.
I will kind of put a stamp on
Yeah.
within my career. I remember when I was training some professional football players, and I was in Northern Virginia, and Wilmington was on. It just happened at that time of year when I was training these football players for the off season. And my parents were really into tennis, and I would watch it, and Federer was at his. I felt like it was at a level where I was early in my career. I was understanding the biomechanics, and my eye of watching it was just starting to really grow. And he was the one I was most impressed by the level of balance, coordination.
He makes it look easy.
Exactly. And it was like he was sliding on that grass, and I was just like, this is ridiculous. And he was just and he was sliding on the grass and hitting the ball down the line. And you said LeBron, and why LeBron?
LeBron, just because he's my GOAT.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
And largely also because of the stuff he does like off the court too.
Yeah.
Just like with his platform, like being able to build a school, I think is pretty cool. And yeah, for my generation, he's kind of like the guy for us.
For me, and he's a year younger than me. LeBron is my favorite athlete, and it's partly because we've all talked about just in this conversation of what our parents have provided for us. And he grew up in a slightly unstable. He had a single mom, and he grew up in very humble means. And at the age of 14 and 15, he was just as famous as almost any other athlete in the world, and still has done what he's done. I think it's kind of impressive. Favorite quote? Do you have a quote?
Everything happens for a reason.
Okay.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
the only one I can think of, really.
Favorite quote?
Yeah.
I'm not much of a reader.
Same. We're athletes. We can't be.
Right. Can't expect us to read and be on the court.
You're kind of showing yourself there.
Just kidding.
We listen to podcasts though, so.
Okay. Favorite podcast?
Trainer Talks with Donavan.
Donovan with these nuts.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. All right. Favorite season: fall, spring, summer, winter.
That's tough. I'm just gonna say spring because my birthday's in the spring.
Okay.
I'll say winter. My birthday's in the winter, but not because of that. I like Christmas time, kind of.
Yeah.
Like around that time.
Yeah.
December, January.
Pet peeves. What kind of drives you crazy?
When people are like hovering over me,
Ah.
like.
Microman.
I mean, with Corona and without Corona. You know? If someone gets too close to me, I can feel them breathing. Like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Pet peeve.
Yeah.
I want to be careful with what I say, so I don't know. I'm gonna pass on this one.
Oh no! Come on.
pass
How
on
you
a-
pass on a
Dude,
pet
that
peeve?
was
There's a way to say it.
I don't know. Like, I don't know, people who are unreliable or something like that.
Yeah.
People are just,
That's fine to say.
commit to something and don't,
Yeah.
pull through.
Yeah. No questions for me? No.
What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie?
Yeah.
Coming to America. Have you ever seen that one? No. Well, you guys have some homework to do. it's Eddie Murphy's, one of his movies that he did in the '80s. It's just from wall to wall. I think it's a hilarious movie. I think it's well written. It's kind of a real life adult black Disney movie with adult words, but it's my favorite. So cool. Well, thank you for joining me on Trainer Talks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, cool.